now I want to talk to you about low back pain, and I've got our famous model on the table, and I have put oil on her back, and what I'm using is extra virgin olive oil. And this whole session is going to be about low back, and I want to explain it to you. And then I'm on the session of the hips and the legs, you're going to see more of the hip part of this, but I'm not going to do that part with her. I don't believe it would be totally appropriate. So what I'm going to show you is the low back. So if we can get started, I'm going back to the initial stroke, and I'm going to come all the way up her back. Now she's got olive oil all over her back. And now I'm going to be focusing right here on her low back. And there's a muscle, the Quadratus Lumborum. And I'm going to run my fingers over that muscle, and I'm going to lean back just a little bit and stretch it. And I'm going to ask her how that feels. Is that too much?
No.
Okay. And I'm going to stretch that muscle back, because that muscle runs from the rib cage to the top of the pelvis. Now I'm going to work right around the edge of the pelvis, and I'm going to show you on my skeleton Ralph exactly what I'm doing with the pelvis, and you're going to see that at the end of this little class. But I want you to focus right here on the low back. Now, where does low back pain come from? It comes from lack of circulation. Where does pain come from? You already know. I've already told you. Lack of oxygen. So if we're lacking oxygen in the low back, then we're going to have pain, right? Why would we lack oxygen? Because of compression. And where does the compression come from? Well, the low back is right here between my hands. It's called the lumbar. And it's 5 vertebrae. And these 5 vertebrae get pulled together, and they cut off the circulation, and pain comes. And then we have the Quadratus Lumborum that's right here, the low back muscle. And I'm going to put a little work into that, because you can feel it. It's it's about this wide, and you can feel yourself rubbing across it. Now you have to ask, does that hurt?
No.
Good, because I don't want to cause pain. What does pain do? It constricts the muscle, right? What are we trying to do? Relax the muscle. So we don't want to create pain. Now, if somebody's giving you massage and they constantly give you pain, you know what? They don't want to be working on you. They don't want to be working on you. You can tell them that for me. Else they won't do that. That's just a way to get out of working on somebody, to hurt them. It doesn't make any sense. So now I'm working right here on that Quadratus Lumborum, and I'm going back and forth across it. And then I'm going to come right around the edge of the pelvis, right around the edge of it. Then I'm going to tuck right over it and come across it on the bottom edge. So I'm just over the edge of it, and I'm going to show you better on Ralph. So what I want to do is I want to relax this whole area of the back. And if it's relaxed and there's oxygen there, will there be pain there? No, there won't be any. So this is the whole game for the low back. But after I work on it a while, and I'm working on it now, after I do that for a little while, I'm going to stretch it. But I'm not going to stretch it until I've done both sides. So I want you to imagine now that I've done the right side, and now I'm going to do the left side. Then I'm going to come to the head of the table, and I want you to watch my hands. I'm going to push the pelvis on the right side, on my right side, and pull the ribs on my left side. So I'm going to do this action: push, pull, push, pull, push, pull, push, pull, push, pull. And what am I doing? I'm stretching out the low back. Now I can take my thumbs and I can do a little action down both sides, all the way down to the pelvis. And then I'm going to come back up and I'm going to do the push-pull. Push-pull, 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 and then relax. Now what do you think that does to the low back? It separates those lumbar vertebrae. And then I'm going to work on them a little bit more. Now you have a sense of what we do for low back pain. And what is the object of this? To lengthen the low back. Because if it's lengthened, it's going to have circulation. If it's compressed, it's not going to have any. Pain comes from lack of oxygen. You know that. So here we go. You think you can remember that? Well, I want you to watch this class 2 or 3 or 4 times. Because you already worked the erectors, then you work the low back, then you push-pull. It's just that simple. And how soon will you get a result? right away. The result will be immediate. Will it be lasting? No, you need to do it several times. You know? The more times you do it, the better you'll be at it. And guess what? The more times you do it, the more relaxed your family member, your loved one will be. Pretty simple, isn't it? Now watch Ralph and I'll show you again. When I was working on our famous model, this is the lumbar right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vertebrae. And I was working on the top of the crest of the pelvis, the ilium. Then I'm going to come around, I'm going to work right across the underneath part of it.